Hello, heroes and shepherds and gurus. And I don't know, even we have so many things to call ourselves. And wow, we're kind of out there now. People have picked up their shepherdese or apprentices. I think we have to get our terminology straight. But we're moving, we're going. Most of you have started something or are about, to start something, and we're at a place right now where we need to start to talk about, all right, supervision and how we're going to do this and how you can use me and how you can use the platform and Natalie as you continue your guru shepherding journey. Okay. I marvel at how much fun this is. Okay, that as I talk to you, as you begin to talk to the people that you're going to shepherd or looking at shepherding and the kinds of things that are coming back through, we have to figure out ways as to how we're going to capture all the learning that you guys are in the process of accumulating. We might want to think about, certainly about how do we track what's going on. So I'm going to make a couple of suggestions in terms of supervision. If we're doing therapeutic supervision, one of the things that you do is process recording. Now, process recording is when immediately when you're done with your session, if you would do a recording, and it can be just on WhatsApp, and do a voice recording and basically sketch out exactly what happened and how you felt, all right? Because what that does is it kind of gives us a template that is right there just after the fact, that as you begin to look at and feel what went on during that session, that's pretty juicy stuff for us to be able to look at. Wow, what can you do here? What is kind of the intervention? How are you working? What do you need to look out for? Are you setting boundaries, right? So that you're not taking on the energy of the person that you're shepherding. Otherwise, what happens is as this grows, then in order to create that shepherding connection, it has a responsibility to it. And yes, we have a responsibility to the person that we're shepherding, but it's not a responsibility to take on their energy. Oftentimes what we think empathy is connecting our energy to their energy, all right? And that then what we do is we just feel that energy together. And that creates that empathetic connection. If though what you do is, and you guys are all problem solvers, so my guess is a lot of you are going to jump into problem solving mode, right? Now when you do problem solving, all right, you're solving a problem for somebody else, but you're also getting attached to what you think the solution is. And with that attachment, you also, all right, get to a place to where you have some kind of responsibility. And there is a place in the genuine caring that we have for the people that we're working with, that is a place to where that caring, all right, creates a relationship, but not a responsibility. It's not up to you to take care of people, nor can you change them. We can only change ourselves. And so the pattern has to be a connection that reinforces their ability to be able to change themselves. so that you're not responsible for that, but what you're doing is you're creating the connection, the ability for them to be able to look inward and discover those things about themselves that may be the limiting belief systems that are getting in the way of them being more conscious. We have a tendency to, when we really care about someone or we love someone, that oftentimes for that carries with it a responsibility to take care of them. Now we are not in empathy, we're in a kind of a strange little pity, okay? Which is, I will take care of you. Now, we quite like that place, okay, because I then have superiority, right? Now, these are little tiny subtle things that begin to collect and get in the way of a real connection, a relationship connection, a vibrational connection with that person. And that's when you begin to put you there rather than what we are actually going for. We won't do it perfectly, but we can again learn in the attempts of, how do I connect and then listen, but listen with my heart? I feel. Remember, all of you were here at some point and you've done the bowls, and we've looked at, wow, how do you tune into the vibration at that level of feeling, that body mass, and we call it the heart level, right? How do we listen with that? We normally listen with our ears, but we don't listen with our hearts. And then how do we speak from that place, from our intuition? So that what happens is, as we listen, there will be things that arise that are things that we can say. And it's not a thinking process, because there's no self-censoring that's going on. It's when we connect enough with that, your intuition connects with their intuition, and you speak something that's coming from that connection, not coming from somewhere else in your, problem-solving, repertoire. Okay. But something that's happening right now, right in the connection that's going on between you and I right at this moment. And there will be lots of things that get in the way. In psychology, in therapy, there's transference and countertransference. And transference is when, well, it's actually when they make you the guru and they give you the responsibility for making them well. Countertransference is when you want to be a guru. and you're trying to maintain that hierarchical position. These are really subtle things, okay? And, in the January, when we're going to do our get-together again, because I think you'll all get into things that are psychological things, and so we should have just kind of the kind of a session about, okay, what to look for, what are some of the pathologies that we all have, and we all, by the way, have pathologies. It's just where you are on the spectrum. It's like we all have a little bit of schizophrenia. It's like and manicness and depression, and I mean it's all there. It's just very human, right? Some of us are compulsively slobs. Okay, I mean, it's like we're not comfortable unless the room is messy. Okay, it's a different kind of obsessive compulsive, but it's the same idea. We're not psychotherapists. We're not really gurus, although we tease each other about that a lot. We are just people that are more conscious, that are more aware of what's happening at that vibrational level, and that are really attempting to make connections with each other at a level that is deeper than the self-consciousness that most of us are stuck in all the time. And just that connection begins a healing process, because we feel like we're not alone. We feel like there's somebody that's actually there, giving us attention, being empathetic to how I'm feeling. It's kind of a magic thing that happens when we get there with people. It's like it just flows. There is an energy that comes from you giving that undivided attention, that really being connected with them at the level that they are vibrating at. And then just listening with our hearts. And when things arise, just speaking them without self-censoring. The minute that we move into self-consciousness, then we are giving advice. We're not focusing on what they can do to discover new aspects of themselves and create the kind of practices that are going to make them more conscious. And in that, we make ourselves more conscious, because you can't do this unless you're really coming from a place of being more conscious outside of the self-consciousness that most of us reside in most of the time. Now, you will have things that get in the way. And that's where supervision can help. And you're going to have questions about, oh, what do I do about this? Am I getting too involved, over involved? Am I, how do I deal with this? How do I deal with this? And those can be fun things that we can do together. And I want you to be open to creating connections with me that are supervisory in nature, where you're beginning to work with somebody and you're just not quite sure, you're wanting to just to have us be able to have the conversation about what's going on and what we're learning. And that will be one of the ways that we'll be able to start to, kind of gather this incredibly cool information that we're going to get from all of you and your shepherdees or apprentices. Anyway, please, I am open, welcome, and looking forward to working with each of you. Wow, lots of love. And Merry Christmas, okay?